Welcome back, YouTube. So today we're going to be changing purge valve on a 2012 F-150. And let me give you a little backstory to this purge valve. This has been going bad just about since I got it, for about the past 3 or 4 years. About every year, when it starts getting hot, the purge valve goes bad, and it makes a terrible racket that if you're standing out here by the truck, you can't hardly have a conversation with somebody else. That's how loud it gets. And it may do it for 2 or 3 minutes and then stop. It may do it for 10 minutes and then stop. You know, if you're running down the road or if you're sitting still idling, it'll do it. So there's no rhyme or reason to when it does it. And I bought an extended warranty on the truck, and I've taken it down to the garage about 3 times, and the first time they were able to fix it because it did it while we were there. You know, I pulled up into the little covered area that they have and left it running, and in a few minutes it started making the racket. So they knew it was a purge valve. Replaced the purge valve, did fine the rest of the year, no problem. Next year, summertime comes, did it again. I take it down there. I said it's doing the same thing that it did, you know, this time last year, and making that racket again. And so they take it in, you know, I wait there 2 or 3 hours. They can't get it to replicate the sound. All right, fine. So I leave. Now this year again, same thing, starts making the racket. I take it down there 8 o'clock in the morning. I leave it there. I come back at 2 or 3, and they said we can't get it to replicate what it's been doing with you. So I asked them, well, if we know that the purge valve is bad, why can't we just go ahead and fix it? No, by the way, I had a video this time of when it was doing it, and I showed them the video, and they said, well, we don't know it's a purge valve, so we're gonna have to wait until it starts making that noise again. So I just got tired of that, and I'm gonna just go ahead and replace it myself. It's also called a canister valve, and it's called a purge valve, and it has to do with the emissions system. And what it does is take the dirty air from the exhaust from the engine and runs it back through the engine to use as fuel. So one thing it'll do is it'll cause your gas mileage to go down. It'll cause it to rough idle, which hadn't really been a thing with me. It's just been the noise. And maybe the gas mileage has gone down a little bit, but not enough that I've really noticed. But it's just mainly the noise. So I'm gonna go ahead today and replace the valve, and this is the purge valve. So I looked at it, and it doesn't look too awful difficult to do. So we're going to go ahead and get this changed out. I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so this right here is the purge valve. Okay, and this takes a, what is this, 5/16 socket, and I've got a big ratchet. I could have used a littler ratchet, but I don't have one. So these 2 screws right here on the top, and oh, by the way, they want $250 for this, but anyhow, you have to take these 2 screws out from either side, As a disclaimer, cut your engine off before you try this. Okay, you got this little clip right here. You just push down on this tab. That comes off. This little green thing that you see here, it pops down in there and it'll lock. But what you have to do is get up from underneath it. And I guess this is just the thing on Ford engineering. But you have to, I had to take a screwdriver and get down underneath it here to push it up so that it will pop up. And then once that pops up, you take that off. Alright, so you take that off over here to the side. You take this off. Now you'll have this little blue washer on here. You'll need to make sure that you don't forget that washer. That washer is kind of important. So I'll just take a little rag, kind of clean out from around it a little bit, make sure there ain't no dirt falling down in there, and go ahead and just clean this one out a little bit where it clips back in. Okay, now that you got your washer, and oh yeah, by the way, that washer, it, you know, it goes on here and then it seats past, there's two ridges right here, and that washer seats right in the middle of those two ledges there. So push this back down in there, make sure it seats good. All right. Put your bolts back in. Yep. Tighten it up. Now I don't know what torque this thing calls for, so I'm gonna tighten it down and just make a couple little, once it gets kind of snug in there. Do the other one next, so you don't get it too tight on one side. That's tight enough for my liking. Okay. Then you put your vacuum hose back on it. Make sure it seats all the way. Don't want it coming off on you. And plug your electrical back in. And that's it. So, yeah. That's it. So instead of taking it down there to the garage once a year, I'm just going to start changing my own and be done with it and not waste hours of my time waiting on it to replicate a sound so they can fix it. And I kind of understand, you know, the reasoning behind them not wanting to throw parts at something. I kind of get that, you know, it's a corporate world now, you have to be careful. But back in my day, you could take something down to the garage, you know, and you could say, this is the problem, I know what it is, can you fix it? You know, put a new one on there. And they would just put a new one on there, you know, and it'd be like, well, and that's on you. If it's not that, that's on you, but we'll put it on there for you. But it ain't like that anymore. Everything's gotten so big and so corporate now until they're about afraid to do anything. And I can kind of understand that, but it's still kind of frustrating when you want to get something done. But I'll just do it myself. Save the $250, $300, whatever it cost. And this part was $24. And, you know, basically it takes 30 minutes of your time. So that's about it. If you found the video informative or entertaining, or yeah, informative and entertaining, how about hit that like button for me? If you're so inclined, how about hit that subscribe button? Until next time, as always, be kind to each other, don't cost a thing, and we'll see you later. Bye.